overcoming self-sabotage and embracing self-love, because I'm going to talk about this lecture today from the scientific standpoint. What is self-sabotage? How to identify it? How to identify your triggers? How to overcome it? But then at the end, we are going to tie this back into the self-love element, because in my honest opinion, treating this as something separate from the whole is not going to work. So what I mean by that is, a lot of the time we think of self-sabotage and we think of the mind, because it's usually the mind that associates all of the perfectionist tendencies, or if we're procrastinating and things like that, it's like, oh, it's our mind, right? But disregarding the body and the soul with regards to self-sabotage is just not going to work. You have to encompass all of these. And it's the reason why the whole idea behind this is that we are encompassing mind, body, and soul in everything we are doing. The most important thing to consider before we even start considering the idea of self-sabotage is you need to nail down your goals and what you want to achieve. Because you can say that you want something and then say you're self-sabotaging, but actually if you're not clear on what your goals actually are and what you want to achieve, and more importantly, why you want to achieve it, it's not even that you're going into self-sabotage territory. It's that you actually probably don't really know what you want. Or if you think you know what you want, maybe you know what you want, but you don't really know why you want it. It's something that I actually just brainstormed the other day out of a meditation, because I was really thinking hard about it. And before I get into kind of the science and stuff like that, there's some questions that I actually want people to consider, because they're things you don't think about with self-sabotage, okay? The first thing is, what is the cost of staying where you are? Right? Because when it comes to change, you can think you want to change, but there's not enough fire where you are to make you want to change. And there's a really cool concept, and I can't remember the name of it now, right? But it's actually talking about when things are just grand, right? It's not usually enough momentum to actually change. So say you're in a relationship and things are fine, right? They're fine, they're grand, they're not amazing, you don't have a fantastic relationship, but they're not really bad either. So you kind of just are like, sunk cost fallacy, we've been together ages, you know what? It's grand. It could be worse, right? So, but it also could be better. But you're never going to know better if you settle for less, okay? So what is the cost of staying where you are? What's the cost of staying in that relationship just because it's grand, okay? Here's the other one, and this scares the bejesus out of people and they don't even realize it. What's the payoff for change? And what I mean by that is, people want to change their lives and they have these big grandeur ideas, but along with that change comes change. You will change. Your relationships will change. Why some people self-sabotage without knowing it is they're a little bit afraid that if I do change all of this, is my life really going to change? And it will. So you need to be like, okay, if my life, and I'm not saying that you're going to completely change your life and then you're not going to talk to any of your friends anything anymore. That's not what I mean at all. Are you afraid that if you reach your body composition goals and you drop a couple of dress sizes and you, all of a sudden this has become a lifestyle, maybe you don't want to go drinking wine with your partner in the apartment every weekend. Maybe you don't want to go to the pub every weekend with your partner, but that's all you've ever done. You know what I mean? Like there is that thing, like deep down, is there something you're afraid of if you do change your life? And it's not to say that acknowledge it and then be like, God, no, I don't want to change anymore. You do, but you learn to grow around these things, and the people that are meant to be there for you and that are meant to be there with you on this journey will grow with you, and the people that are not will drop off. People love an end date with things, okay? But when it comes to your health, the end date is death. I'm sorry to tell you. So if you want to look after yourself, this is kind of a thing you need to keep up for the rest of your life, I am afraid. Just a little quick recap, okay? Overcoming self-sabotage. First thing is awareness. You need to recognize them patterns, the triggers and the self-sabotaging behaviors. That's the first thing. You need to get really clear on that. Then you're going to implement a little bit of self-compassion. Be kind to yourself and acknowledge the imperfections and forgive the mistakes. Challenge negative beliefs. Question the limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones, okay? Then set realistic goals. So you're going to break them goals up into smaller, more achievable goals to actually reduce the overwhelm. And then seek support, therapy, counselling, supportive relationships, asking for help, right? This is something I'm really working on this year, and I found it's crazy how when I actually started implementing it, how many people actually wanted to help me. I always thought I had to do everything myself. And recently I've been asking for help a lot more. And it's crazy the amount of people that ran to my side to help me when I needed it and actually wanted to do it and wanted to help me. And my life became easier, and I didn't feel like I had to burden everything on my own shoulders, okay? Today, coming back to this, my method, empowered mind, strong body, powerful soul with love at the center. It all comes back to this full circle. So now we're talking about the cycle of self-sabotage in a holistic context, okay? So as I said, we often think that it's due to the mind, the negative thoughts, the limiting beliefs, and the self-criticism, okay? But it's not. And actually, maybe you're thinking, yeah, body, unhealthy habits, neglecting self-care, and physical manifestations of stress. These are all the mind, the body elements of self-sabotage. But actually, the soul comes in here too, because it's that complete disconnection from your inner wisdom, your purpose, and your intuition that actually is playing a role in the self-sabotage as well. You're completely placing your trust in the outside world to solve a problem that's an inner thing.